Alrighty, guys, in my humble opinion, there is a movie coming out in 2025 that we need to be talking about a little bit more. Because I think that it's being underrated a little bit in terms of how big it could be, perhaps, in terms of box office, but also just how good it could be. And I'm talking about Tron Ares. Tron is a franchise that has been interesting because you would think, with a concept as interesting as Tron, where you have this grid and you have the idea of virtual reality, and now it's transitioning into AI, it looks like from this trailer. You have a concept that looked like, or at least looks like, it could spawn an entire franchise of films and TV shows and all that. But it's been weird because the original film came out, I believe, in the 80s. That was when the original film with Jeff Bridges came out. And then the sequel, Tron Legacy, came out, I think, 2008, 2009. And now the third film in the franchise is coming out in 2025. So it's been odd because it feels like a franchise that could really capitalize on the new technology as well with the visual effects and take off as a franchise. And maybe this is that point because we have a new trailer for the third film like we talked about with Tron Ares. And I have to tell you, with every passing trailer, the more I hear about this film, this is a more story-oriented trailer. We get to see more of the cast as well. I'm getting really excited. First of all, I've been saying this before with the original teaser as well, but the visual style is so ripe to continue to evolve with the VFX shots. I'm just such a sucker for the visual language of Tron, where you have the grid and you have the light beams and all of these, just the very straight lines of light and neon colors, and it's just so cool. It's so simple, such a simple concept, but it's so captivating. It's hard to explain. But just seeing at the very end of the trailer all the different strands of light going everywhere, it just makes for a very captivating visual language. And I think that that's something where it's not talked about enough, but like I said, has become one of the more iconic science fiction visual languages, I think, out there. So I'm very excited to see that again, if only for the fact that we get to see it in 2025. And then on top of that, the cast looks really good. I think that I've said it before, I thought Morbius, I thought Jared Leto could have done a good job with Morbius, and Morbius was not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but it is Morbius. But, I think that Jared Leto has not had a great streak with these mainstream movies, Suicide Squad as Joker, and then Morbius, but, I think that he is still capable of being a very good actor, and this seems like a role that he fits, right? From everything I've seen in the trailer, we've all had our trepidations with Jared Leto in any of these big roles. I think that from this trailer, it's been good. I haven't really seen anything that makes me go, oh no, I'm worried about him as Joker. On top of that, it's really good to see Jeff Bridges back as Clue. I mean, long before we all knew him as Obadiah Stane in the Iron Man film, he, of course, was in films like The Big Lebowski, but he was also Clue in Tron, and I think that it's just really good to see him again, especially as he gets up there in age as well. Greta Lee and Evan Peters in the trailer as well. I just think that the way that they're presenting this, also the fact that this is, again, I mean, I know a lot of films are really trying to dig into the concept of AI at this point because it's such a prevalent topic in our society today. And I think that they should, for films like this, this feels like a very, it feels like a film that's ripe to explore that concept, unlike maybe some other things where AI, you're like, is that really a concept that we need to be inserting into this franchise? But Tron just feels like it was ahead of its time, and I think that in this world where we're kind of going from virtual reality now to just straight up AI, I think that Tron, this film has sort of an Edge of Tomorrow. This trailer has sort of an Edge of Tomorrow vibe mixed with AI and Terminator and Tron, and it just looks fun. It looks really interesting, and I'm very excited to see it. I don't know if this film's gonna make $1 billion or anything like that, but I do know that this film looks exciting, and I'm gonna be there when it comes out, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens with Tron Ares. So guys, what do you think of this second trailer for Tron Ares? It looks like it's revealing a little bit more of the story and what the vibe of this movie is going to be. Let me know in the comments down below.